Swear I just need one more day. My homies need no more babies. And I'ma need way more checks, cause my mama need no more stress. Papa no dose, I rest. Never really enough, I guess. Just cause I know niggas sleeping on me. Right place, right time. I'm trying to find where both them things might be. Wake up, check my phone. Fuck it's going on, yeah. Throw a nigga up, came too far from home, yeah. Most my days I spent alone, deep off in my zone. Living off $1 in a motherfucking dream. A lot of shit now would it seem. Truly San Fernando. Got the bravest kids out here with piranhas, hoping they can swim. Swear it's one day ramen, and they're steak and shrimp. Life is boom or bust, and nigga only focus on making it. Come take a trip to La La Land. Nothing like the movies, no La La Land. So easy to lose it out in La La Land. Are you sure this what you really want? Ooh, yeah. Not South Central, but the A18. Meals ain't guaranteed, better scrape your plate. Take it day by day, you slip up and they take your place. Started rapping and they try to low bro me. Like, bitch, do I look like my name Fonte? Sick of old salty niggas throwing shame away. And I'm sick of ages trying to delay my pay. I'm trying to put some opportunities around my way. Off California, yeah, and Chippewa. Them State Street parts, North Hollywood, kinda look like Gravois Park. Trying to buy my mama a nice crib by the state, so I really need them to up these tour rates. Fuck out my face if we got an issue. I know my wave, I don't got a dish. Jobs come every day, some might miss you. If you're crying in this night, probably don't fit you. Truly San Fernando, got the bravest kids out here with piranhas, hoping they can swim. Swear it's one day ramen, then it's steak and shrimp. Life is boom or bust, and nigga only focus on making it. Come take a trip to La La Land. Nothing like the movies, no La La Land. So easy to lose it out in La La Land. Are you sure this what you really want? Ooh, I killer, Midwest nigga. On the west side mission. Yeah, killer, I'm a Midwest nigga. On the west side mission. This is what it feels like. Yeah, this is what it feels
Hub
like.
Radio.
They said it, they wanted it, really they wanted it to taste just
I still have to be able to be true to myself. When it comes to hair and natural hair and people, like whether you got the curliest hair or the kinkiest hair or your hair is
taking the initiative to serve the underserved, no matter what form or shape or fashion.
A princess always wears a crown over long hair flowing down, never over braids or afro puffs. Well, I was that little girl learning hatred for my curls, and I tried to burn them straight till a new reality broke through and settled over me. That got herself in love.
Hey y'all, good evening.
Hey,
yes,
hey.
and happy Tuesday to all of my queens and my kings out there. Happy Tuesday. It is 7:30 and you are now tuned in to Queen's Table Talk here on the Hub Radio. I am your host, Mo. Oh, I like that. Okay.
My sound effect?
I like that sound effect. I'm here for it.
When should I do
Yes. So, I am here with my co-host, my fellow queen, my dear friend, Miss Jasmine Renee.
Hey.
Yes.
QTT in the building.
QTT is in the building. As you guys can see, we are one short today. Miss Lovely Leah, she is out. But we're going to hold her down for her. She did have a special... a note. Yeah, she has some words. Yeah, she wanted to let y'all know. She said, "Hey Queens, unfortunately I can't be there tonight. I'm at work getting this money. How do you say money? Securing the bag.
She's securing the bag.
She is securing the bag. She said, but I know Mo and Jasmine Renee will hold it down just fine. I'll be back to you guys next week. Lovely as ever. Enjoy the show. Oh, you're so sweet. Shout out to Lovely Leah. She is currently at work. Oh my gosh. Yes. Shout out to her bag, securing the bag. That's what she's doing. Yes. But we do have a special treat for you guys today. Trisha Chavez, she is going to be here in the studio with us. She's a special guest. Yes, here to talk about all the amazing things that she's doing. She's so active. When I tell you, this woman's resume is as long as PCH. Like, she is a poet, an author, founder.
I said that's the new one, as long as PCH.
Yeah, you know how long PCH is?
No.
You don't? You never been up on you never drove down PCH?
I have, but I just never thought to say that.
You didn't?
No, I'm just saying it's a new statement.
Oh, really? Okay. I actually heard that. I used to hear that a lot growing up. Yeah.
It's as long as PCH?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's long, okay? It's long. So, but she's a founder of Spoken Word Sundays as well. When I tell you, like I said, she is so active. Yes. Sundays. She is here, there, and everywhere. So I'm really excited. We're really excited to have her on later on up in the show. So hold tight. But in the meantime, let's... Jasmine Renee is on one today. She is a good day. On one today. She is. But yeah, let's dive into some table talk. I haven't seen you since last week, so of course I haven't seen you since last week. Right? Yeah, since last Tuesday. Yeah, so we gotta do some catching up. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on in our personal lives and also on social media too. I ran across this article. Well, we ran across this article. But I haven't actually seen Jasmine to talk about it.
Well, the title. So, we ran across the title.
Yes, the title. Sent us through. If you guys saw, Good Morning America made a post about this article, and it said, for many Black women, Meghan Markle's engagement offers hope. For those of you who do not know who Meghan Markle is, she is an actress, and she just got engaged to Prince Harry. Yes. Is it? That's Prince Harry? Yes.
In all of his glory.
In all of his glory. And they said, for many Black women, Meghan Markle's engagement offers hope. And
I need to know what hope
when I tell you, the internet went up. Right. And me, when I saw it, I was like upset when I saw it. My phone. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. As soon as I saw it,
tripping. Like, I cannot read. Really.
Justin made a post that was like, I will be talking about this.
Yes. Before the shade room, like, I was like, no. Who said this?
I went on my lunch break and I saw it. I was like...
It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is this? They don't hear about this today. Yeah.
I said, y'all, don't do this. Like, I really just started shaking because I was like, I hate when I see stuff like this because it's just really...
It's pitiful.
And I don't want to attack her because she didn't write the article. She didn't write it.
Meghan?
Yeah. I'm not going to attack her because she didn't write the article.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's just the whole...
We talked about her. I talked about her last week. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't no attack to her. And my accusation was more towards Black women and us.
And the person who wrote the article.
Right.
It was poorly written and poorly executed. Hello.
Sis. Like, get it together.
Come on, sis. You had one job.
We got a seat for you at the table. Come on and sit down. We
for real.
Bring your articles. We
gonna help you discover, unlock, and protect your magic.
Make sure they coming out.
Okay.
Exuding Black girl magic.
Oh my God. But I just felt like the woman who did write the article, she was a Black woman. Her name is Joy McKenzie. Joy McKenzie. Yeah, she wrote the article. And actually, when you look at the title is actually very misleading to what is actually in the article. Well, I mean, when you look at the title, it makes it seem like it's more of like she's out here trying to be the savior of all Black women.
But she did. But she tried to make her. She said that Black women have, since Michelle Obama, we don't have anybody to look to.
No, but that wasn't the, we'll talk about that, but that was somebody that they interviewed in the article. But the article itself was just...
her article.
It was put in her article.
She put it in there.
Right. But outside of the quote, the article was pretty much just highlighting how Black women were excited about Meghan Markle's engagement. They were highlighting that. However, in the article... they did have different quotes from other women. And this one Black woman, she did say that we have not had someone to represent us in the media recently, and it's just good to see something good happening to a woman, a Black woman specifically, amidst all of the challenging news that we have faced in the last few weeks. I feel like this is very problematic to me. I feel like the whole article is problematic. I understand what her intentions were when she explained it after the controversy. Like, it was so bad they had to change the title to the to the whole article because it just got that much backlash. But I understood the intention behind the article, but the execution, it was poorly executed, and it was very irresponsible of her, especially as a Black woman. Because I feel like you should be more careful with how you represent us as a whole.
Yeah, because she even said, like, it was a fantasy. Maybe I could get me a Prince Harry. And it's like, okay, first of all, we all grown. I'm not looking for no prince. Like, that's not realistic to me. And then second of all, it's not a fantasy. Like,
a Disney movie.
Why as a Black woman would I be looking towards marrying a white man? I don't understand that. Like, in any shape, form, or fashion, why would that be what I'm looking forward to? If you mean to tell me it's a white man that, you know, you seem compatible with, and a Black man that you seem compatible with, you gonna go with the white man? Like, come on now, that ain't right. Not as a Black woman. You gonna go get you that Black man and go have you some bomb Black babies. Like,
some brown babies.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But I mean, I wasn't here for the article.
I wasn't here for it either. I just think that the whole situation in itself, don't make it seem like Megan is the poster child for Black girl magic. She's not.
I'm the poster child.
And I think we represent well. But I'm saying, like, there are plenty of images, of positive images of Black women besides her. And to be honest with you, I feel like Black women, we're able to be in a lane of our own outside of the acceptance of white people. And that's no diss to her. That's no shade to her. However, I think that as a people, they need to understand that we don't need that. That kind of image doesn't give us hope. We already had hope. The Obamas gave us hope back in 2008. Hello? That was a whole campaign. It was like hope.
It was 8 years of hope. We still high off of that hope.
For real, we still got hope.
We still good. We don't need no more hope. Like,
hello.
Right.
Yeah. So
years.
Exactly. And like when we have images, we have plenty of images of Black women, like Michelle Obama, Solange. We just talked about her last week. She won the Impact Award. Every single week we highlight Black women that are doing something. Yes, SZA. With all her Grammy nominations. She's the most nominated woman for the 2018 Grammys.
Lovely Leah's favorite.
Lovely Leah. Tracee Ellis Ross. Exactly. And even we got Trisha coming to the studio.
And then even on the local level, like
on the local level,
volumes. There's Pula. There's Lawson's volumes. There's Brittany Calhoun.
Exactly.
Like there's Vintage. Like there's a lot of us out here doing. There's Mo. There's me. There's Lovely Leah. Like there's a lot of us, you know, doing stuff that are really hopeful, that give people hope that maybe aren't doing something. So it's like,
but my hope is not in the arms of a man. Yeah, a white man or any man, period.
That's another thing I want to say. Even if you want to take race off the table, call us racist, well, call me racist, whatever. If you want to take race off the table and you just say hope should not be me looking into the eyes of a man. I don't need a man that shouldn't be what my hope is. Yes, for love and we want to get married and all of that, but I think it just said hope for Black women, like as if that is the only thing that can get us to, you know, to that next level of being great or to that next level of being like wholesome or whatever. And I'm like, no, like there's hope, and hope can stand in the face of us just being individuals. Exactly. Like I don't need to be in a union with anybody, with a woman or a man, to be an aspect of hope. But it didn't speak to her being an actress. And I personally, like, after reading her story, I was the one where it was like, if you're mixed, you better claim being Black. And if you don't, then there's a problem. But it's like, no, because she talked about it as if she claimed, you know, being Black 100%, then it would, you know, hurt her father. And if she claimed being white 100%, it would hurt her mother. So I understand that, because I really don't think I will be able to pick, you know, in between my parents. But I'm like, I think there's an avenue for biracial children and biracial people, and I feel like she's an advocate for that. I'm completely happy with her story. It enlightened me. Her essays that she has written about this, it definitely enlightened me. And I'm talking about like within the past week, it has opened my mind up to say like biracial people need an avenue and an advocate for them. And I think she has done a good job in advocating for that. I don't even last week, I didn't really speak to what she identified as until Black woman came and started trying to claim her as a Black woman, and that's not what she identifies as. And I'm not telling her she's not Black, but I am saying that if she doesn't claim us, it's okay for us not to claim her back. Like, we don't have to, you know, put her outside the club, but we don't have to claim her back.
But here's the thing, though. I don't think, because I did see her article, because she did write an article for Elle magazine, and it was talked about in the article for Good Morning America. I don't think that she has ever not claimed being Black. I don't think that she has ever tried to disconnect herself.
Said, I don't identify as either.
I don't think that she does that. I don't think that she said that in a malicious kind of way.
No, it's never malicious, but it's what she is. Just like I don't
saying
claim,
like, oh, we don't claim her. She can't sit with us.
No, I'm
like,
not saying we don't claim her.
Black,
I'm not saying we don't claim her, but I'm saying if someone is saying, I don't identify with what my mother is and I don't identify with what my father is, she's saying her mother is an African-American woman. She doesn't identify as that. And that is completely fine, because being a mixed race child, you aren't one thing. It's just like mixing red and blue together. You get purple. You don't get a darker shade of red or a lighter shade of blue. You get a completely different thing. And I feel like that's the avenue in which she's moving, is into a completely, you know, different avenue. And it's necessary for her to advocate for I have mixed race cousins. I have Filipino and Black cousins, and they don't 100%, you know, connect with me, and they don't 100% connect with, you know, their Filipino cousins. But there's an avenue for them. They all connect to each other. It's 4 of them. They all connect to each other. But then when it comes to like outsourcing, we don't necessarily talk about the same things. Or when I talk about being pro-Black, they can't necessarily like get in on the conversation completely, because they just don't know. So it's like, well, why don't you talk about being pro-biracial? Like, there's an avenue for that. So I think that's something that, I mean, I'm here to listen to, just being biracial. You don't have to claim being one or the other, because, I mean, you're biracial. So
right.
I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm really here for her advocacy. Like, I push for it, and I'm happy that she is out here, because I've seen biracial children. I've grown up with biracial children, and I've seen them struggle with their identity. So I'm like, oh, there's a voice for them. Like, there actually is a place for them to come and speak and feel 100% like connected to a group. You know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think that to be honest with you, I don't like to be controversial, but. But like before she got engaged, I never like really seen her like in the Black community.
I ain't never seen her.
Yeah,
nowhere.
like you know how like you see like the Black celebrities who are usually like they're here, there, and everywhere, but she
being Black.
Right. I just want to know where she come. Not saying like where she come from though, but honestly, I didn't know about Meghan Markle until she got engaged.
She's on what, Suits? I think.
That's what I heard.
That's where she got like her little debut. Well, she's been on a few other shows. She also mentioned that it is hard trying to get a job, because a lot of roles are like, oh, I want you to be this strong Black woman that's 37, or I want you to be this 22-year-old, you know, feisty Mexican, or I need you to be like a calm little white Susan or something. She was like, a lot of the job description are like that. So it was hard for her to get it, but I guess her role in Suits, she has a Black father, and I guess she is a mixed race character. She plays a mixed race character.
So she identifies.
So she identifies, and she said, you know, it ended up, you know, working for her. I forgot who plays her dad, but it's somebody. But she was saying, yeah, she had a Black, and she even mentioned to going through some negative things for that. She said a lot of people in the show thought that she was just white or she wasn't Black, and then when the episode aired of her being a mixed person, when they saw her Black dad, people were like, oh, she's Black, like, ugh, like, you know, like the negativity, the racism did come out,
right?
Even as her being a character and not herself. But I guess it did maybe hurt her some, because it's a truth to who she is. Like,
right,
you would have to be like, oh, if you feel this way about the character I'm playing, well, then how do you feel about me, because it's just my story.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But overall, I don't think that, I think, like I said, it was very it was in poor taste. The title of the article that was written by Miss Joy on ABC. Well, it's ABC, right? Yeah. It's Good Morning America who posted it, but it's ABC. Yeah. I just thought it was very it was in poor taste, and I think that we need to do better. And I just feel like Black women, like, we're not the bottom of the barrel. Like,
hell no.
Exactly. And it's like, don't make it seem like that we're just down on our luck, and that that we're just clinging to some kind of hope for somebody to come and say no.
Right.
No.
And we're gonna come back. back with some hope
Hello.
in a few minutes.
In a
But
few
we're
minutes.
going to go on a quick break, pay attention to the commercials, and see what's coming up next at the Hub Radio.
Yes, we'll be right back.
Yes. You missed up the time.
Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes offers
You put
custom cakes
7:45,
and cupcakes for
7:10.
every occasion. We proudly bake everything from scratch. With every moist and mouth-watering bite, you will be smacking your lips by the time you are finished. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lip Smacking Cupcakes.
Allow me to give you something to think about. Not everything that comes out of Compton is bad. I mean, we have Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams. That little girl with the dream made an Aja Brown. P. Diddy couldn't have said it better. This is the fairy tale, man. And fairy tales do come true. Because we got millions of cats that are coming up with that hustling spirit and drive. They got that mention, that drive. Bill Lyons had that drive to overcome all obstacles. Bill Lyons isn't just a clothing line or just a brand. It's a movement. Bill Lyons is Compton. Compton is Bill Lyons. Respect the perspective. Bill Lyons.
I'm Coach Tony Robinson. I'm an author, mentor, motivational speaker, and CEO of the Concrete Rose Foundation. Why I started the Concrete Rose Foundation? It's simple. I love helping people. There's nothing more rewarding in life than to help someone else and not expect anything back in return. The Concrete Rose Foundation is all about going out into the communities and helping people. We have a bullying campaign. We feed the homeless. The Concrete Rose Foundation is about going into the communities and helping families build strong foundations for our youth today.
You are tuned into Queen's Table Talk. Yes, I am your girl Mo, and then I'm here with my girl, Miss Jasmine Renee. Yes, and all right, we're gonna do things a little bit different today. So we're gonna go into some Black girl magic. It was a great week for Black women. Yes, it's always a great week for Black women.
Right.
Always.
When is it not?
Exactly. Last week, Lupita, she was on the cover of Vogue magazine for the fourth time for the January 2018 cover. This is her fourth cover. Look at her.
Look at her in all of her glory.
In all of her glory. I'm so here for her.
Wellness.
Yes. And like I said, this is her fourth cover. She will be starring in the Black Panther movie in February.
You have to go get your African dashiki and your African pants. We will only let you
about
in
to
the
walk
theater.
up to you.
We will only let you in the theater if you are dressed to the tea. Go get some culture.
Oh my
have
God.
a few
You better
months,
come
but you have to
ready for the
It has to be
culture.
an entire ensemble, like even the shoes, or else we're not letting you in the theater.
Exactly.
I will be there at all of them.
She said I'll be there at all of them, every single show.
Right, you have
we go
dashiki
into it.
down. From
Hello.
What is it? From the sole of your head to the sole of your feet? From the top of my head to the sole of my
To
feet?
the sole of your
Yes.
feet.
You have to be dashiki out
Yes.
to get in.
I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. That comes out February 16th, 2018.
Yes.
I'm out here giving y'all free promo.
Right.
So please.
I'm getting mine handmade now.
Yes, please
My dashiki
go
is
support the
being
movement.
Handmade as I speak.
She's out here.
It is
We about to be
going
walking
down.
in here, okay?
Yes.
We gotta go like in droves, like we gotta go like as
In
a
limos.
unit.
Ooh,
Yeah,
we
she
get
said
a-
in limos.
The Hub Radio pulled up
The
to
Hub
the
Radio
rave at the
events,
Crenshaw Mall.
yes,
in
the Hub
a
Radio
limo.
outing.
And a Hummer limo.
Yes, we're going to see Black Panther
And all
in
of our
February.
dashikis.
And our dashikis. I'm here for it. You just let me know, and I'll be there.
If y'all not coming out of y'all dashikis, y'all gotta go home. I'm
She
sorry.
said y'all gotta go home. Go
Y'all better
home.
be up in this thing. I promise you. We better be so extra. Either come out in dashikis or come out in a suit with your hat on and a cane. Yes. First lady outfits.
Yes, everybody.
First ladies and pimps.
She
That's how
said
we
first
coming
lady
out.
and
Yes.
pimps. Everybody.
You better be
please.
dressed to the T. Let them know that we are here.
Yes. And we are going to represent.
Right. So well. Ever
Yes.
so well.
And also in the article she talked about how she's taken up pole dancing and how she was very inspired. She actually went to a strip club in New York and was very inspired by
I'm sure she's just so graceful on that pole.
She
Like,
probably
I can see
is.
her being like a thought. Like I'm sure she's just, it's just like, whoa, like I've never seen
right.
stripping.
It's
like
actually
this.
it's actually very athletic, you know. So
I don't know if I could be on a pole.
I would go like to a pole dancing class.
Maybe we can do a QTT pole dancing.
I'll be here for it. Like no, like you know how much upper body strength you gotta have to do all that and to like climb up. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll go. If I went to the slut walk, so I guess I'll go be
Right.
learn how to be a stripper.
She said we have fun. I know Dre had fun at the song. I wish I could see Dre right now. He has on a
He was all the
t-shirt.
way across the stage, and we was like, "Look at him! He looks so sad." He was.
Dre was actually on stage. I don't even know how he got that close to the stage. I don't even know how.
Rose.
I'm like, Dre up here acting like he with production. Like, he was like,
Jay was up there. He just.
oh my God. I wish I could see his shirt right now. He has on a Hello Kitty like
Y'all don't
t-shirt.
wanna see his
Y'all don't want to see it.
Y'all don't wanna see
Instead
it.
of saying Hello Kitty, it says Hello Titty. It's like a shirt that says
like Hello Titty.
oh
Hello
my
Kitty
God.
titties.
I don't know
Don't
what to
mind
say
him, yeah.
about Dre. Oh
You
my
would have to
God.
excuse him.
Oh my God, please. But last Tuesday actually, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Yes, she was elected as the second Black woman
Yes.
to be mayor of Atlanta,
Yes.
which was amazing. She ran against Mary Norwood. Have you seen a
white
picture of
lady?
her? Yeah, have you seen a picture of her?
I don't want to.
Yeah, she
Is
look
there
a little.
picture on the-
She look a little off. No, it's not on there, but she look a little off. But I'm glad she didn't get elected though. But she real salty, like she real salty.
Well,
like I'm
you
talking
were
about
telling me
Pacific
that,
Ocean.
Atlanta hasn't. They haven't
So-
hired anyone that's not Black.
Yes, so I did not know this. Fun fact: Atlanta has not elected a white mayor since 1969,
Ooh.
and I did not know that.
And they say I'm racist.
Right?
They are racist.
But I think that it speaks to how progressive
Yeah.
it is, you know? And if Mary, Keisha's opponent, would have gotten elected, she would have been the first one to be elected since the first
Dang.
white mayor to be elected
White people out
since
here trying to make
1969.
History all over. again.
Right, but also too, she would have been the first white woman to be elected as mayor.
I like her.
But Keisha, yeah, she's the second Black woman that was elected mayor of Atlanta, and she's amazing. She's Black girl magic. Like she went to FAMU, and she's a Delta. And during her acceptance speech on Tuesday night, she had said Black girl magic is real, and
It is.
it's very
It
real.
is.
I'm
Black girl magic means that you are able to strive in the face of oppression and adversity.
Exactly.
And you are able to be beautiful in all of
It's
your
a
glory.
strength that I think nobody else can not saying that nobody else can have it, but
They can. It's black girls.
It's
They
black
can't
girls.
have it.
It's something about us that's just very, very unique. Like where people can't be. You can't match us in any arena. It's something about. But
Dre is being
Dre,
so
do
petty.
you
Oh my God.
producer?
No.
Can you please?
She's biracial magic. She's
I'm not about to
She's-
play.
what is mulatto magic? There it is.
Y'all, they acted up today up in the studio. Like they are acted up today.
Dre is being so petty. Where's T at? T
All
would
right,
never
T
did that.
is usually here to keep him in
Right.
check, but
Dre
he's
is
tripping
being
today.
petty. No,
Oh
you're
my
good.
God, yeah. Dee's in the studio too. Shout out to her. Shout out to the Scumbag Society.
Scumbag
They're here in the studio.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Was there Tyrese in the back?
Why was Tyrese there?
I don't know.
Why was Tyrese there? Why was Tyrese there? I don't even know. Yes. Sorry.
What? I'm good.
Sorry, y'all.
Tyrese was in the back.
Y'all don't know why Tyrese
I'm
was
over here
there.
like, oh yeah, black girl mad. I'm like, Tyrese, you good? Like you out? You're good to be in public right now?
She
Like,
said he's good to be in public right now.
he was really in
Y'all,
the studio.
oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
But I want to also attest to all of the black people that promoted her, all of the celebrities and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of like following the movement with celebrities, but I do like how they came together and they were able to like say some kind things about her and push the movement. But you know, I'm always here for black women winning, and just seeing black women, you know, posting her and saying and making videos for her and posting them in their free time. It wasn't like something that was did up or something that was just it wasn't a whole production. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna just do this because I really do care about her. And a lot of them had like very personal stories to tell about her, and I thought that was really cool just to see like the black community in Atlanta really
Right. I love Atlanta, actually. Like, it's actually one of my favorite places to go visit.
I've never been to Atlanta.
Yeah, I've been like 3 or 4 times this year. Like, when I tell you, hey, girl. Like, when I tell you, like, in Atlanta, as soon as you step off the plane, like, there are, like, black people everywhere. And I'm so here for it, you know? And I'm like, I just love being in Atlanta. I love it. So then, shout out to Miss Trisha Chavez. She is here in the building with us. How you doing?
How are you queens today? I'm awesome.
Good.
LA traffic.
All that LA, trust me, girl. I understand. But we happy to have you here.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm here for your hair. Yes, you go, girl. Yes, coming through with the black girl magic, y'all. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. Trisha is here in the building. We're just talking about black girl magic. We talked about Miss Keisha Lance Bottoms. She was just elected as mayor in Atlanta.
Oh wow, that's my city.
Yes, exactly. I was just saying
love
that too.
Are you
I
from
love
Atlanta?
Atlanta
I'm
too.
not, but I love to
Are you
live
from
there.
out here?
Exactly.
I'm from Compton. I'm right
Okay.
around the corner.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
But no, yeah, I love being in Atlanta too. Like, it's just the vibe and it's just the culture. So many prominent black people out there. And like, when I tell you can go to any black restaurant, it's like you out there and you in your element. Like, it's easy to find somewhere to where you can be yourself. So I love it. And then also that night when Miss Keisha Lance Bottoms was elected, Sharon Reed. If you don't know who she is a news anchor on CBS 46 in Atlanta, and she was talking about the election. As they were covering the election, they were talking about race and how race had played a factor in the election, in which it did. I think that anybody with, you know, eyes can see that it did. Yeah. But the fact that they called it out, she got an email from this
From Mary.
disgruntled viewer. Her name is Kathy Ray.
Who's Mary? Oh, Mary is the one that she ran up against.
She ran against her. This lady, her name is Kathy Ray. For some reason, I feel like she don't even have like a front row of teeth. Like, for some reason, I feel like she's just like
Kathy Ray. You can come sit with us if you want.
She can't come sit at my table. She
can come sit. We gonna tell her about herself.
She gonna come sit.
She can come sit down.
She can come in. I don't know if she gonna go out. Okay.
Right, you come into this city, so you come do what you need to do and come with protection.
So
we gonna throw you in something.
Yes. So, Miss Sharon Reed, though, she was so classy. She had put the email on the screen as she was on air, and she read the article, and she said, the email said you need to be fired for the race baiting comment you made tonight. It's okay for blacks to discuss certain subjects, but not whites. Really, you are what I call a Niger. That's what she said. Niger. She didn't even say Nigger. She said Niger. A whole country. You a whole country. You ain't even a. Yeah. She said you're what I call an Niger, not a black person. You are a racist Niger. You are what's wrong with the world. No, Kathy, you're what's wrong with the world. But my girl Sharon, she held it down, and she said, when arguing with somebody, you have to be careful not to mischaracterize their viewpoint. So I won't mischaracterize your view either. She said, Miss Kathy Ray, I get it. On December 5th, 2017, you think it's okay to call this journalist a nigger. I don't. I would clap back and say a few things to you, but instead I'll let your words, Kathy Ray, speak for themselves, and that will be my last word.
I like that.
I like that too. She was real classy with it.
Did you see the memes where like they had all of her hand movements?
Yeah, our hand
like,
movements.
I'm gonna let you know.
Yes.
You ain't gonna do this again.
That is like black women. Black women in our purest form.
You know that a black woman is coming for you.
Exactly.
And it's about to ruin your life.
I was just like, girl. She tried it. And talking about you're racist. First of all, lady, you felt the need to write Miss Sharon a whole email.
Why people really be in their feelings? In
their feelings though, but yet you want to write a whole email calling me the N-word, but you talking about I'm racist.
We didn't think that this was gonna be racist.
Right.
Like, it's okay.
Maybe she didn't think she was gonna read it up on air. But
I'm glad she did.
I'm glad she did too.
The station allowed her to do that, because we know how stations are. They'll be like, no, you can't do that. Do it in your own time. And then we see with Jemele Hill where she made a comment about, Trump or about, white supremacy, and it was on her own personal Twitter, and they came for her and told her like, no, this is not okay. So,
but there are no lies told.
Right. But I'm really happy that the station was in support of her doing that. I think that really speaks to whoever is running the station, because we've seen a station like ESPN come back and not stand up for their employees when they are speaking the truth. So I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate her for, black women, we have this thing about us where we tend to go off. And I thank God that she showed a very positive light, but definitely came for who needed to be came for.
And that's probably the best response that she could have had.
Yeah.
Because had she... And
I'm sure she was hurt by it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was.
I'm sure, and even like how I say, we have to be true to ourselves. Sometimes we are that mad black woman. Sometimes we are that bitter black woman. And I'm sure she was that mad black woman in that aspect, but she was able to show a really positive, effect from that. She was able to show herself in a positive light. So that, be okay, like, in what you are. If you're mad at that moment, if you're sad, if you feel like crying, be okay with that. Like, it's completely fine. Just get yourself back up and learn how to respond to that. I think that's a really it was a beautiful thing to see her do that, and she's a beautiful woman.
Exactly. And then also, speaking of beautiful, my girl Beyonce, Miss Queen Bee, she presented Colin Kaepernick with the Muhammad Ali Legacy Award at the Sports Illustrated Awards. I know it's Black Girl Magic though, but I just want to highlight Mr. Colin Kaepernick because he received the award. He said, "I accept this award not for myself, but on behalf of the people, because if it were not for my love of the people, I would not have protested." And I think that he's very deserving of it. This man pretty much like sacrificed his whole career, which I'm pretty sure he didn't know that it was gonna,
I mean, he didn't know, so it's like we can't really put
ramifications,
it on him,
But the fact that even after that, he's still out here moving and supporting the cause. So I'm so here for him, and he's just so unapologetic in all that he is. So I'm here for him.
Take a quick break, but when we come back, we're gonna be back with Trisha, and we're gonna hear about everything that she has going on in her life.
I'm so excited, y'all. Like, she's real Black Girl Magic. So give us 5 minutes, we'll be right back.
Pay attention to the commercials. All right. Hey girl.
Oh, sweet, beautiful depression music. yeah. Turn me up a little more, Seymour. Voices. Voices. seem like every situation got me back. Try to be a man, follow my calling. But it seem like every step I'm falling. Crazy decisions is wrecking my brain, holding in all this pain. God, could you take this away? It's about to drive me insane. I got voices in my head. I got voices in my head. I got voices in my head. And Lord, I doubt you. And Lord, I doubt you. And Lord, I really don't want to. I really don't. But I got voices in my head. 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 And Lord, I doubt you. And Lord, I really don't want to. Oh, sitting all alone, asking for your help. Sometimes when I pray, feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh, and I try my best, put my trust in you. But sometimes, God, that's just hard to do. Stressed out, you know that I hate this. You took my dad, now I'm mad. I got voices in my head that say you ain't real. But I know that you are. Yes, I believe in God, but a nigga still down. I got voices in my head. I got voices in my head. I got voices in my head. And Lord, I doubt you. And Lord, I doubt. And Lord, I really don't want to. I really don't. But I got voices in my head. 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 And Lord, I doubt you. And Lord, I really don't want to. Oh.
Oh, we're not on. Hey,
Hey,
we are back. QTT in the building.
QTT is in the building.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I'm so happy. We have Miss Trisha Chavez in in the studio with us. I was telling you guys about her earlier. When I tell you this woman, her resume is so long. She has she's a poet, she's an author, motivational speaker. I had the pleasure of meeting her at Friendsgiving.
Yes.
Last month, and I heard her speak, and I was like, she's just so amazing. Like, I need to go talk to her and tell her how dope she is, because it was just so beautiful, just like her whole aura and her whole essence about herself and the way that she spoke. She's very soft spoken, but when she speaks like with a lot of power, and she speaks with a lot of conviction. So I'm so happy to have you here up on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So you are our first guest on Queen Staple Talk.
Oh, dope.
Yes, thank you so much. So earlier today we were kind of talking about Meghan Markle was talking about Black women who give us hope, and why do we have to look at women who are, not saying no shade to her, but we can look for hope right here in our own backyard.
Well, let's throw shade to the author.
Yeah, we're throwing shade to the author. Yeah, not to Meghan Markle.
Do you know? Have you heard about? Did you see that?
I heard.
I posted it. If you didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just it's unfortunate, because the only way for us to have hope is for us to be with a different race. And
right.
That's the only reason, or because she's going to be a princess, but we're already princesses. From
exactly. Hello.
So then we could become queens.
Right.
So we have to look at ourselves on why we allow someone to even be able to be comfortable to say something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And it was the fact that it was written by another Black woman. So I was just like, oh, okay, sister. Like, we don't have to go back to the drawing board upon this, because you kind of tripping.
Yeah.
But yes. But Trisha, tell us a little bit about yourself, though, because I know that you have a lot of projects that you have working on. You can tell it better than I can. So.
Okay. So I am a poet, and I'm the founder of Spoken Word Sunday, which we do every Sunday in Long Beach. And that's been my dream since I was little, riding around the corner in Compton, and I used to do little poetry in the backyard, and I was like, I always wanted a show, so to be able to bring that into existence was amazing. I did write a book. It's not under my name.
Yes.
It's in a different name, because I work with children, didn't want to mix the two. It's a dope book. It's called Diced Pineapples. That just started. I was going through some things, a divorce, and I was able to kind of find an outlet in my writing. And I work with children with special needs. That is a big passion of mine because I have a nephew that has autism.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been in the field for 9 years and trying to get my master's right now in psychology so I can
You go,
better
girl.
help them.
Uh-huh.
But I want to bring it to our city because we have so many children in the city that don't get the services that other children get so easily. And a lot of parents don't even know about the services that can help their children. They're misdiagnosed on purpose so the districts don't have to pay the services. But if the parents knew the same places to go to that other people know, then they'll get the help for their children.
Right.
So I want to help our kids.
Yes.
That's so amazing. And also, I heard that on your birthday, you go to Skid Row to give back.
I do my birthday bash every year on Skid Row. We do, it's called BBG. It's the organization that I started years ago, which means beanies, blankets, and gloves. So we bring those out to Gladys Park, and we give out on my birthday. We have cake and music, and we just kind of hang out with the people and just kind of give back. Because I always say I didn't do nothing. I just was born that day. So to give back, it means a lot.
That's so selfless.
Really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool that you do that. It was so crazy. I came to the studio and I was telling Dre and T, I was like, oh yeah, I said I want to have guests on my show, and I was like, I'm gonna have Trisha Chevalier, and they were like, oh yeah, Trisha, we know her. Like, she do this, she do that. I was like, oh, you already know her? Okay, cool. So yeah, so you're definitely a staple in the community. So I think that's so dope. And the fact that that you talked about special needs, I actually have a brother that has special needs. So to work with kids, I feel like it's something, it takes really special people to work with children who have special needs. It takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of love. You got to have a big heart to work with children that have special needs. So I think that's really dope that you're doing that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, we really do appreciate that. On our show, we're all about, of course, Black Girl Magic, and we're all about queens and wearing our crowns, secure in the crown. But I want to know, when exactly did you discover your magic as a Black woman?
I would have to say it took me a long time. So I would say that it was after my divorce. So, no, right before my divorce when I realized that I needed to leave a toxic situation. So growing up, I was always in this little shell, always had all these different things about me that I never was able to express because I didn't feel beautiful enough or talented enough, so I never did it. And then being in a toxic marriage where it was more implemented that I wasn't beautiful enough or good enough, it just had me in this weird space. So once I left that situation and was homeless and I was living in my car because I didn't want to go back to family and let them know my marriage, didn't work out, I really had to self-analyze who I was and where I wanted to be and what I wasn't going to allow. So I would say when I left a toxic situation for the last time.
Wow, that's really powerful. And also, too, like I said, we're all about discovering, unlocking, and protecting your magic. How exactly did you unlock that magic when you found that in yourself and when you were in that situation where you were homeless and where you were getting a divorce? When exactly in that period did you unlock that essence within yourself?
I would say I woke up in the middle of the night cold in the back of my Nissan Sentra. I was like, this isn't the life that I'm supposed to have. And I have to be able to figure out how to be on my own 2 feet and live the life that I want and I desire. And that's just my motivation every day. And I was like, why are you so motivational? Because when I post something or speak about something, it's really speaking to myself constantly because the reminders are always good. So it's me constantly motivating myself while I motivate other people.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, look at you, girl. Oh, my goodness. And also, too, the last part of our slogan here, how do you protect your magic now?
I would say by taking time for myself. We get so consumed with trying to pay bills or trying to make other people happy, but literally taking out, whether it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, an hour, a day, to just pay attention to where I am. So that's just how I do it. Just always making sure that I find some time for myself.
That's good. What do you like to do in your time when it's just you?
Poetry?
When it's just Trisha?
I love to sit at the beach early in the morning or late at night when there's really no one there, and just listening to the waves and just sitting there and just thinking about how amazing the world is without us implementing our own idea of it. Just how naturally beautiful we are. And what the world is. Right.
What do you think is the best poem that you have written so far?
I'm stuck in between What's Up Black Woman, which is the one I'm gonna do tonight for you guys. Ooh. Or I would say Food for Thought. No, that's just talking about the condition of where we
That's
are.
the one that you did at Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Yes, that one was amazing.
So, those two I would say are my best ones for right now.
For right now, exactly. For now.
Yeah, because I write every day, so.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we've been knowing each other for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, at least
Since
the
before the summer.
middle. Yeah. So I was going to Spoken Word Sundays, and I think I probably saw you at Compton Open Mic. And just seeing you, you know, put the event together and as being like a creator. Also, myself, it's really cool to see other Black women because it's not often that you see us in that light, and it's definitely like it's a plus to see like a running mate, you know, when you look over to the side and it's like, oh, I can go to your event and I see you doing what you're doing, and then you can come to mine and like you see me doing. So it's definitely a testament to just like keep going in Black Girl Magic. But I knew that you were a poet, but for the first part, when I met you for like the first few months, I didn't know,
Right.
because she would just be putting on the event, and I'm like, oh, so she does poetry, and they would like. Rob would always say it like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna get up," and I think maybe I would leave, or maybe the time would run out, so you wouldn't.
I always try to make sure that sometimes I'll put myself on the list, but then somebody will come in and say, "We just drove all this way. We really want to perform." So I'm like, all right, go ahead. So I don't really get to perform a lot at my own show, which it's okay because I just love having that platform for different people to just come out and spread their talent.
And it's definitely becoming a staple. It's something usually people ask me like, "Is it Sunday? What should I do?" And I'm like, "Hey, Long Beach, like Spoken Word Sundays is there every day." So even like on the Initiative Radio show, I'm constantly like, "Oh, you know, Sundays, you know what we do, you know, Spoken Word Sunday." Even if I can't make it, I'm just like, it's something that's becoming a staple where I feel like at some point in time we're gonna be like, you know, so and so used to perform at Spoken Word Sundays, and it was something that really, you know, picked up, and there was a lot of talent that came through there. So something similar to the Loft, or I don't know what it's called, the Eve After Dark. Have you been there before in Compton off of Avalon and 55th?
No.
But yeah, like NWA got started there basically. So it was something they call it Eve After Dark, and they just basically the same thing. Like they would meet up, I think maybe Fridays or Saturdays, and they would do like shows or whatever. It was an open mic. They would do shows. NWA and Lonzo, he's the one who like kind of low key founded NWA, but he's the one that would put it on, and it's his space. So he reopened it up. But now, if you looked at the documentary with Dr. Dre, I think, they talk about that. And I'm like, I can see, you know, Spoken Word Sundays being something where it's like a lot of artists, because, you know, Thomas Da Vinci has been there, Q has been there, Anthony Sanguine, I think I saw Jay Skrilla, he performed here. He's came through there, Young Rod, like you. There's been so many, La Speaks Volumes, like Pula does her stuff there. So it's like, you know, we all kind of like have, you know, came across there and been through. So it's like, if somebody pop, you know, they gonna definitely mention Spoken Word Sunday. So that's really a testament to like you and your spirit. And I feel like when things are genuine, they last long. And I feel like the fact that you're able to do this every Sunday and it has the crowd that it does and people are coming through, and I'm seeing like more people posting it. I've seen people from church even like slide through when Ryan came through and he sung. So it's just like, it speaks to how genuine your spirit is. So definitely appreciative of that.
Right. And for those who don't know what Spoken Word Sundays is, you mind giving us a quick synopsis of it?
Yeah, so it's an open mic. We allow every talent. We've had tap dancers and violinists. We don't discriminate. So you just come in and you have 5 minutes or just one piece. And we do it every Sunday from 8 to 10:45 p.m. And we're just going to keep it going.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, she told me about Spoken Word Sundays a while back. And then when I saw that you were the founder of Spoken Word Sundays, I said, oh, wow. Like, it's crazy how everything just kind of connects and how everything comes together. So that was really amazing. And also, you work with young girls.
Yes.
And you speak to young girls. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I kind of fell into that. One of my play aunts, she does like a different program once a year, and one of the teachers decided that she couldn't come. So I was like, she was like, can you do it? I'm like, I don't know what to tell these little girls. Like, what are you talking about? But we sat down and I just had them draw. It was a picture of just like a woman's body with no face. And I had them put marks next to the body on things that they didn't like about themselves. And just the things that the girls would say. These were 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
Wow.
And how they didn't have boobs yet. Or, you know, they didn't think they were beautiful. They thought they were stupid. They didn't like their hair. And I was just almost in tears. Because as a child, I remember having those same feelings.
Right.
And it's 10 years, 15 years later. kind of old. And it's like that our girls still have those same issues. So that means that we haven't done enough to make them feel beautiful. We haven't made it a trend. Like, although it's an awesome hashtag, Black Girl Magic and Black Girls Rock, but are we really pushing to our little girls like they're who they are? You know, will they still pick the white doll if it's a white and black doll put out? You know, so that's the reason why I continue to do it. I don't charge, and if I can find another venue to do it, then I'll continue to do it. I don't want to do too much at the same venue that we are doing Spoken Word Sunday. I don't want to bring it to our city. So that's what it is.
That's so dope. Like, I really do agree with you that a lot of our young girls need that. Even like a lot of our older women need that, you know, because as Black women, I almost feel like people don't really talk about our beauty enough, and that we don't really praise ourselves enough, and that we're so quick to put ourselves down, and we don't really see that. And it's so important to develop that when you're young, so when you do get older, like, you're not a victim of your insecurities. Yeah. So I think that's really amazing what you're doing and helping and talking to young girls and developing, putting those ideas in their minds for them to have self-confidence and self-esteem. So that is amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And then you do something similar to that with the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, so that's really cool. And also too, you have a home service. What is that?
So my grandmother had it years ago.
I said she does everything.
Look, you gotta hustle. No, my grandmother had a cleaning service a long time ago. When she got sick, she lost her clients, and I remember at a point in time where I was like, I need extra money to do X, Y, and Z. And I just remember when I was little cleaning houses with my grandmother, and I was like, I'm gonna just make some flyers and pass them out door to door and try to get some clients. And that's what I do on the weekends. So I clean houses on the weekends.
Oh wow! Right. I was like, look at you. I said, out here, just doing it. Yeah. Yes. And then just going back to the Ought to Be Fit. Do you mind telling us a little bit about Ought to Be Fit?
Yes, so Ought to Be Fit is fitness for children with autism. And right now I am with a battle with a woman who's trying to use my same name, which is unfortunate.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Trisha Chavez?
No, Ought to Be Fit.
Oh, I was like,
no, she's a mother who has a child that's on the spectrum. And I have been open to merging businesses, but you know how it doesn't really work when you're trying to merge with some people that's not us.
Right.
So, but I'm going to keep going for it. I just tried to trademark it. So now I'm just learning just the legal stuff. And that's why it's always good for us to be more business minded. Because now I'm just kind of jumping into something. And I'm not fully, I guess, equipped with the knowledge of business. Right. But that's what the company started, was to help out the children with autism, because a lot of them don't get physical fitness because a lot of the parents can't really take them out because of their behaviors, or the children they don't have the proper teachers to teach them. So that's the reason why I started Ought to Be Fit, is because also when the children get fitness, then they learn better, because they've gotten that energy out, and they can sit and actually learn the programs that are specific for them.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. You know what? Our other co-host, Aaliyah, lovely Leah. She was going through the same thing with her Instagram name. Actually, somebody
somebody asked her, like, do you mind changing your
Instagram name
so that I can use it for
for her business
or something.
And she said, no, like, this is my name. Like, I'm not changing it. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, like, why would you change your Instagram name? I know that's your business, but I mean, if you don't put a little bit of lovely underscore or something, a little bit of lovely one, like, what is wrong with you? Why would you ask me to do that? Yeah, but no, all of that works out, you know.
I don't. Cool though.
Yeah, that is cool.
Working on like education, you see a lot, and my mother also has a daycare. So some of the kids that we got, they would be, they would have some disabilities, but to see that you're creating that avenue, because a lot of people don't want to deal with them because of how far they are on the spectrum, or their outburst, or how sometimes that things begin to flare up. They don't. So I'm sure that the kids love that. I'm sure that they really do get a kick out of that. That's super cool, just thinking about it. Because I'm like, these, kids that are not on the spectrum, that are just, that don't have disabilities, like, they're hard to deal with a lot of the times. I see them in middle school, the kids that I deal with, it's just like, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. But I'm sure, like Mo was saying, it takes a very special person to deal with them. And once you get to know them, it's just
you just
they're-
fall in love
Right,
with
and
them.
they're the sweetest people too. Like, and I feel like when we talk about children who have special needs, their hearts are just so pure.
Yes.
And if only everybody could see the world through their eyes, I think that the world would be a much better place. Because they're just so innocent, and they just have a beautiful way of looking at things and looking at people, and just being like just being themselves in their own world is something that's so beautiful. So yes. Tricia, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you seen this video? It was online. We were just talking about it earlier today before the show. We was going up here in the studio. It was the one with the black guy and the white guy and the guy with the Trump hat on.
This one, I'm not racist.
It's like it's a rap, right?
Yeah. Okay. Did you see that? How did you feel about it?
I guess it just goes again with our self-love. I feel like it's because we don't love ourselves as much. People in the music industry, the news industry, they can say whatever and do whatever. Just like we have a show called Blackish. You know, like we just, those terms. I don't think that it was appropriate. I mean, it was deep. It had its points, and it was like, ooh, yeah, ooh, no, no, wait a minute. Hold on.
Right.
It's like,
y'all tripping,
it was one of those moments where it was like, okay, it was intellectual, but then it felt like it was shade thrown at us. So, I'm still kind of iffy on it. I mean, knowledge, I feel like there's always good knowledge. What is that? Is that one of my lashes? So I feel like knowledge is always good. It's always good to find the good in everything. But I felt like it was too much.
It was too much?
Yeah.
See, I felt like that too, because as soon as I saw within the first 2 minutes, I was like, yeah, what is this? Somebody needs to explain the point to me really quick, because I'm about to get upset. And then when the black guy came on and he was pretty much rapping his rebuttal about how he was just like, you know, black people were this way because this, and that. I'm like, okay, I understand that. Yeah. But at the same time, I wasn't really here for just like the way that it was executed. Because I feel like it's a different reason. I feel like the reasoning behind who you are and the reasoning behind who I am is two totally different reasons.
Or why we even need to have this conversation. I definitely feel like when I first saw it, it was like, okay, cool. But then I also think that spoke to, you know, how black people are. And even like when it's in church, like you could be sitting up in the pulpit and just speaking and nobody says anything. But you put an organ behind it and everybody gets hyped up. Like I feel like we all operate off of emotions. Like a lot of times with black people. So it's like, I heard it and I'm like, his flow is dope. Like, you know, the way that he came off is super dope. It's something that I would bump in my car. But then it made me feel away. It really did make me feel away. And I was telling y'all earlier, like, for some reason, like, I go, like, not numb, but I just block off when I'm listening to it. And I've tried to listen to it for more of a research perspective. But I haven't, like, I've heard things that they're saying, but I haven't been able to really dive into it. And I think maybe it does go into, like, maybe that's not a conversation. I mean, I think it's a conversation that I'm willing to have, but I don't think that's the right way to go about the conversation in terms of, like, the things that were being said. Now, the rap and what he did, and I think the visual of it was dope. I really do. But I just think that some different things need to be said. I think that it was fine to highlight what, you know, he perceives as our culture. I think that was perfectly fine. But also the hugging at the end and stuff, it makes it seem like we both done each other wrong as both races, and I don't think that it's that simple. I think one side is a little more at fault than the other one. I think we are also at fault, but it's not an even playing field where, oh, I'm sorry and then I'm sorry, because my I'm sorry doesn't cover a lot of ground. Your I'm sorry would as a white person. So I just think you know, it made it seem as if like, oh, I hit you and then you hit me back. Now let's apologize. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. Like, you know, that's what it made. But it's not that simple. Right. So
it's a much more complex issue than that. And when you go back to the raps and how how they were talking to each other, I feel like it's more so coming from a place of anger and resentment rather than coming from a place of understanding. And I feel like that's the problem with race now in America, is that we're so quick to talk about, you know, and to speak from a place of resentment and hurt. And not saying that we don't have a right to be hurt, because I got my own feelings, you know, about X, Y, and Z. Right. But at the same time, if we know how to articulate our feelings, rather than, you know, a white person saying, oh, well, you're this because your pants are sagging, or you're this and that. Yeah, I'm not going to be too receptive to what you got to say.
Right.
So I think that first it has to come down to the way that we talk to each other, the way that we communicate with each other, and develop a neutral territory where we can have these discussions. But just the whole video, because I saw that there was there was a video of this guy. He was in school. He was in college. It was lecture hall, and he was it kind of surfaced, and he was breaking down the video and talking about it and kind of critiquing it. But I was like, I just need to know, because we watched it here at the studio, so it was a pretty emotional conversation that we had. But I feel like it was one that we needed to have amongst Black people, because we all need to be on one accord. First of all. Before we can start talking to anybody else. Yeah, to anybody else. We all need to be on one accord. We all need to know our history. We all need to understand where we come from. And then once we understand that, then we can be able to go out and talk to other people about it. But I thought it was a very interesting video. I feel like I'm still trying to dissect it, but I just like to know other people's opinions I just like to know other people's opinions when I come across. I just need to know I'm not tripping, right? I just need to know.
It was a lot, and I think it just goes back to you trying to clean someone else's house, but you haven't cleaned yours. So that's probably just the biggest issue, like you said, and how we look at it as a race. We forget that there's just one race. You know, there's a different type of people, but there's one race. And I think when we start to handle each other, although they are different and they do things very differently than we do, but like you said, if we can find a common ground, that's not a critique. But it's, okay, this is the way you do it, this is the way I do it. All right, cool. Well, let's meet at a common ground. Then it's different than saying, you know, y'all late all the time, or, you know, you guys don't know how to dance, or you don't season your food. Like, you know what I mean? Like, instead of having those critiques, it'd be better just to have a neutral ground where that's sincere.
I think it'll take definitely, it's going to take a lot of work from us, because I'm thinking of it individual aspect, and, you know, the things that we've learned, it would definitely take, I think, work on both sides. I don't know if we'll necessarily see that like coming together with our generation, but I think that it is a beautiful thing if we would be able to, you know, get to that point of like solidarity and be unified. But I think it does take a lot of self work. Be like you were saying, we got to clean our house first, and it's us. Before we can even get to our community, we have to fix the individual. So I think that plays a part in it too. But I wanted to ask, like, what is something, I guess, that you're passionate about, that you think is maybe something that's a problem in our community, or something that you push for, something that you're an advocate for?
I would say the self-love. I mean, we just recently had a little girl kill herself, you know, and so it's just our self-love. You know, she didn't have that love in herself, even if she saw the video. It was like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? But because we don't have that self-love enough, it's easy for us to take our own lives. It's easy for us to take someone else's life that looks just like us because we don't love them, you know. So that would be my biggest thing. I feel like once we start loving each other more, once Black women start loving each other more, start hugging each other more, start complimenting each other more, and we start loving our men more, and stop saying, you know, we don't need a man and all that, because we need them just as much as they need us. So just the whole love, the whole unit. Once that's mastered, then I feel like we'll be able to solve so many issues that we have. So that's what I would say is my biggest advocate, is that, or my biggest passion, is self-love.
It's beautiful. And I like how you talked about the Black man, because we're very passionate about our Black men. We're very protective of our Black men.
But we abuse them. You know, we protect them. We like, I can talk bad about them. You can't. You know, but you can't love them either. You know, you can't have them. But we push him away. We hit his ego. We do a lot of things as women towards our men. Then we get upset when they go find heaven somewhere else. So yeah, our men, we gotta work on our relationships with our men. So.
Oh, trust me, it's coming real soon. 2018, we will have the kings are invited to come sit at the table.
Well, I got my own king, but you know, I said I have my own king.
You go, girl.
I am a very deep, serious one.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm here for the Black love.
That is. God, I can't wait to see when I get home.
I love that. I love that.
That's my baby.
Yes.
How long have you guys been dating for?
Okay, so we've been on and off for a while. And then last year he was in a motorcycle accident where he broke both of his arms. So I quit all those projects and everything, and I took care of him full time. And I was like, I couldn't imagine life without him. And then we stopped for a little bit, and now we just been rocking. So I would say we've been on and off for 3 years, but we own all the way on now.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's love right there.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. It took some, we go through our issues, and I feel like even us as a generation, we quit so easy because we have access to so many different people. Right. We'll see, a person on Instagram or somebody will slide in our DM, especially if it's a time that we're vulnerable, and we'll take the bait.
Exactly.
And it sucks because then we're losing out on having those good relationships that our not our ancestors, but our grandmothers and great-mothers had when they were with each other for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we can't last a year or a month or a week. We were like, whatever, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just...
You got a strong fallback game.
Yeah, fallback game, real strong. You know what I mean? But it's like we've lost that. And even a lot of my friends and my peers, they don't even look at marriage like I do or look at family. It's all these blended families. It's all these just different situations. Like me, I've been divorced, and we don't really look at it as something that's so important. But that goes again to the Black love and the self-love. Because if we loved ourselves enough to love our men enough, to love our children enough, we're going to work hard to keep that unit strong.
Right.
And I think it's like backwards. We love, our children, but then we don't understand that in order for you to love your children, you have to love where your children came from. And your child came from you plus another person. So how could you bash what the thing you love the most, what helped you get the thing that you love the most, and then even what you said about, or you said your fallback game is strong. I don't know if you guys have seen, but like the meme, it was, I'm probably butchering it, but it was something like, don't let your fallback game be stronger than your ability to conversate and to be able to address things. And it was like, I think most of the time, we fail in things because there was a lack of communication. And there are so many just conversations or so many things you could have just said one time that would have saved, relationships or, business things or just anything. It could have kept friends together, but I think that was so cool because this generation is like, my fallback game is cool. I peep and I fall back. But it's like, if we have to make sure whatever we're putting our time into is, it's worth it. We have to make sure that it's not just I'm putting my time into this because I want to be intertwined with somebody or because I need, attention from the opposite sex, but I need to be here because it benefits me. And then once it does get rocky, we have to say, okay, my fallback game doesn't need to be in effect right now. The way that I'm able to speak, the way that I'm able to, address the issue, that's what needs to be strong. And I think, it does. We hear it all the time. We see it on Twitter. We see it, everywhere. Like, girl, I'm about to fall back. I saw him, doing whatever. But it's like, well, first of all, what were you in the relationship for? And if it was for a really good reason, and if he did give you this, that, and the other, speak to him. We don't know, what it is, but I think.
But most people don't want to talk about their feelings. People don't want to express themselves. Like, whatever happened to that and being transparent and being open and being vulnerable.
And
I think we're too afraid to be vulnerable.
And you have a right to. It goes back to being like your inner child. Like when you used to say, I don't want to eat my vegetables, or I don't want to go outside, I don't want to hang out with that person. We had a right to do that, but somewhere down the line in us maturing, we lost that right to speak for ourselves. So it's just like that whole aspect of inner, connecting to your inner child has been like heavy on my mind. So I'm like, now everything that I'm talking about is like, okay, yeah, when I was a child, I used to do this. When I was a child, I used to tell people like, I don't like the way you make me feel. I don't want to be your friend anymore. And we've gotten away from that. Right. We just sit up here and we allow our friends to trash us or do whatever or speak bad about us. But it's like when we was younger, you took my doll or you snatched it from me, and I would say, I don't want to hang out with you. I'm not your friend. Right. We would do that without thinking about it. But we've lost that. And it's like, you have a right to be in control of your surroundings and who is around you and your spirit, your energy, and your space. So I think that.
But really you need to know who to cut off and who not to cut off. And I think sometimes we're so quick to cut off people who really who we shouldn't be cutting off,
Right.
but yet we, you know, keep the ones around who we shouldn't have around.
True.
But we need to stop treating people as if they are disposable. I totally agree with you. Because I was that person. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be like, I got a strong fallback game, and whoop whoop whoop. I don't want to talk to you. Like, girl, you see my block list right now. Like, my block list is really long. I haven't blocked anybody in like 2 months. Okay, I haven't. But like, as soon as somebody says something to me that was wrong or that's something that was foul, I'll be like, yeah, you're blocked. I'll show it to you during the break. But I was
block like only people like when I'm in like if I'm off and on in a relationship. This is not like it's probably like only one person that I did this to, but I would block them like I don't really want to talk to you now. But nobody like that. I'm just like I don't know. I don't have like a long block list.
Yeah.
I blocked my parents.
Really?
I
can block my
parents. My mom will pull up like girl.
Like girl, what?
No, they weren't gonna pull up, but I did block them for like probably a year.
But I'm learning though that I shouldn't be so quick to cut off people, and that it's not healthy. It's not a healthy trait to have about yourself when you're so quick to cut off people, because really all that is just you being hurt or me just being protective of myself. And not saying I should be protective, but at the same time you're so protective to the point where you don't even want nobody to come into your life because they out here, you know, because you feel like they gonna hurt you. So I'm just like, no. But yes, you guys.
Yes, so that's Trisha Chavez.
Yes, Miss Trisha
in the studio with the Queen's Table Talk.
Yes, Queen's
She's
Table
a
Talk.
queen.
Yes, secure the crown, y'all.
Yes, but we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, it will be your favorite segment,
Dear Queen. So yes.
To these commercials. See what's up with the hub.
We got a good one today, y'all. I don't know if y'all ready for this question. Yes, they are tripping. All right, y'all, back and bye.
Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes offers custom cakes and cupcakes for every occasion. We proudly bake everything from scratch. With every moist and mouth-watering bite, you will be smacking your lips by the time you are finished. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lip Smacking Cupcakes.
Allow me to give you something to think about. Not everything that comes out of Compton is bad. I mean, we have Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams. That little girl with the dream made an Aja Brown. P. Diddy couldn't have said it better. This is the fairy tale, man. And fairy tales do come true. Because we got millions of cats that are coming up with that hustling spirit and drive. They got that mention in it, that drive. Bill Lyons had that drive to overcome all obstacles. Bill Lyons isn't just a clothing line or just a brand. It's a movement. Bill Lyons is Compton. Compton is Bill Lyons. Respect the perspective. Bill Lyons.
Coach Tony Robinson. I'm an author, mentor, motivational speaker, and CEO of the Concrete Rose Foundation. Why I started the Concrete Rose Foundation? It's simple. I love helping people. There's nothing more rewarding in life than to help someone else and not expect anything back in return. The Concrete Rose Foundation is all about going out into the communities and helping people. We have a bullying campaign. We feed the homeless. The Concrete Rose Foundation is about going into the communities and helping families build strong foundations for our youth today.
Check seat, bitch, do your thing, man.
Step with me, ride with me, come on, let's get it. Riding down Sunset, California dreaming, with the baseline, 808 trunk beating. Shawty see me slide, she like damn I gotta meet him, cause that boy so fly. Soaring like an eagle, riding down Sunset, California dreaming, with the baseline, 808 trunk beating. Shawty see me slide, like damn I gotta meet him, cause that boy so fly. He be soaring like an eagle. I ain't tryna be Mozzie, I'm tryna make it like Hove. You could have the block, the gang, the work, and the stove. I take the corner office, tryna be a CEO, executive in the making, telling stories through these flows. Listen to just what I'm saying, I ain't doing shit for hoes. That new G-Wagon and some land out as it goes. They mad, they don't wanna see a nigga sell out shows. Always been a solid nigga to the pavement, 10 toes. Drop some racks on my neck, so I don't touch shit, let it show. Mouthpiece so cold, this game had baby froze. Damn, why you thug 'em like that? That's how it goes. Started off with a half, then I turned it to a whole, then I turned it to a quarter. It flipped just like George, and my name G-Cinco. You can call me Pop for short. When you get it on your own, you don't show niggas remorse. So I'm at you niggas' neck with the fucking 44. Do this shit the best, like Caliber from the west, where they flying at your neck, so you don't even need a vest. On the street, strategize, it ain't checkers, bitches' chest. Think shit sweet, that let her burn through your chest, nigga. Riding down Sunset, California dreaming, with the bass slide, 808 truck beating. Shawty see me slide, she like damn I gotta meet him, cause that boy so fly. He be soaring like an eagle. Oh, they used to love me, now they hate a nigga. From the land where it's sunny, full of shady niggas. Designer jeans laid over bloody bottoms. That boy clean, like he used the whole bottle. Cool with the gangsters, nerds, and the athletes. Your bitch can't take dick, she running like a track meet.
Hey, y'all, we are back. It's back with our special guest, Miss Trisha today. She is sticking around with us for our next segment, Dear Queen, where our viewers, our followers, they write us questions. They come to us with questions that they want us to answer here live on the radio. And we try to be as transparent as possible. We try to give them the most real advice that we can. So let's just dive right into it. So,
is that the question?
Huh?
Is that the question?
That's the yeah, girl. I know. So this is a long one, y'all. So bear with us. So she said, "Hey Queens, I've been with my boyfriend for 1.5 years, and he's grown to be my best friend. Throughout our relationship, we haven't had any major issues or arguments, but lately we haven't been seeing eye to eye on a particular issue. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend and I got into an argument about a post he made on Instagram. This is not the first time we got into an argument about his social media accounts, but the problem is not with his post, it's with the response of other women on his post. Some girls will comment hard eyes under his picture on Instagram, or if he makes a post on Twitter, some girls will retweet it and respond being extra. I love my boyfriend, but he's not that funny to be retweeting all the time." What's wrong with her? Jesus. She's not that funny to be retweeting all the time. "Whenever I try to confront him about the comments, he just laughs it off and says I'm being insecure. I feel like he's not being considerate of my feelings when I tell him it bothers me. He just tells me that he's tired of arguing about something that he has no control over. He even told me that if I have a problem with it, then I can unfollow him. Who says that to their girlfriend? Wouldn't it make more sense just to block her? I need help. So please tell me what to do, because I don't know what else to say to him to make him understand my point of view."
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this on the table.
Go ahead. You better get in front
of
me.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm a advocate for, you know, the black man or whatever man he is. If he's I'm an advocate for black men, so I'm an advocate for him. And I'm gonna say if he know what he got, then he know, you know, like, you know, it's just girls being girls. And I think maybe if he's not entertaining them, then it's not an issue. If all we see is them posting, then of course they're going to be there. You know, they come out when you're in a relationship. So I'm going to say to him, like, okay, I get where you're coming from if you're not indulging in it. I don't think he can go and like make a post and say, "Hey, all of you that are feeling me, stop posting on my, you know, picture." But I'm gonna say that just to get that on the table, that I can definitely feel that. Where like if the tables were turned and a guy that I'm dating was just like, "Yo, why are all these guys commenting on your pictures?" And it's like, what you want me to do? Like call him up, be like, "Yo, stop Like, don't do it anymore. So I can definitely understand that. I'm gonna give him that benefit of the doubt just, at first. But, I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily told the guy if the table was returned to not follow me. I would, try to make her feel like, okay, it's not what it is. But I don't think he necessarily has control over it. Now, if he's like, feeding into it and it's like, yeah, maybe, like, whatever, then it's like, okay, it's an issue, you need to stop. But I don't think he has control over what the females are commenting. Like, hoes will be hoes. But, I mean.
What you think?
I think you got too much time on your hands to be sitting there paying attention to social media so much.
The girl?
The girl. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I feel like it's social media. I mean, people heart face, kissy faces, sliding DMs all the time. And like you said, it's what he indulged in. It's what you feel about yourself, your self-worth. You shouldn't even be worried about another woman retweeting or a heart face. It's an emoji. It's a click of a button. But if he's spending energy and time with a woman, that's different. But we just give social media so much, and that means that you guys are taking away personal time and quality time with each other because you're upset about someone that has nothing to do with your relationship. So I would really do some self-analyzing and find out why am I so insecure about a post.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with both of y'all. I think that it is social media, and I don't think that we should get so caught up in it. I mean, like, when he starts commenting back to these females, then it's an issue.
Problem.
However, I will say what bothers me the most about this is the fact that he dismissed her feelings about it, and he was just like, I can't control it. If you don't like it, just unfollow me. And I don't think that's the way to necessarily solve a situation when you're in a relationship. It's just to dismiss it like that.
But it's probably after they already argued about it. This isn't the first time she's brought it up. So now he's at the point, our men don't like that. Once or twice they'll kind of have a conversation, but we don't know if she'd been nagging. At Two-Face,
how hard she going?
Big Boob just said this, and Lil Mama Q just said X, Y, and Z, and it's like he's probably just tired of hearing it. And sometimes our men, when we nag them, sometimes their response is emotionless. So it's probably what happened.
Right. Yeah, I have to say, because I'm not in that place no more. Like, when it comes to social media, I feel like I've outgrown that whole phase. Because I used to be that person. Like, when I was like in high school and stuff, I'd be like, oh my god, like, why is she like commenting? But it wasn't like as prevalent as it is now. But I was in that phase. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, MySpace. Like, why is she in your top
MySpace?
8? Why is she in
like
your
early days of Facebook?
Yeah.
I'd be like, why she commenting? Why she following you? Like, But I've outgrown that. I just feel like you need to take time to really focus on your relationship and just focus on what you have now. Like, unless them girls are like, sliding up in your man's DMs, and unless like they over here commenting like just some disrespectful stuff, then I think that's justifiable cause. But your man is right. Like, he can't control what people actually post under his pictures. You can't control it, you know? However, I will say this. If I know a man is in a relationship, I don't comment upon his stuff. Like,
hoes will be hoes.
That's true. I just feel like when a man has a girlfriend, I just never understood that about female. I just never understood that about females and how females, like, if you know he has a girlfriend, then
they attract. I mean, it attracts like them more. Like, oh my gosh, he's in a relationship. Let me go for him more. And even the same thing with guys. Like, when a girl gets in a relationship, it's like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna get her, and it's like, why are you trying now when you know I'm in a committed relationship?
Or I think it attracts.
It's a chase, and it's like even if that hard to get thing, it plays a factor when you're in a relationship. Like, yeah, you're hard to get in, and a lot of girls think like, oh yeah, I can be better to you than your girl is, or I can be better to you than your guy is, and it's just like, that's how our generation is. Like, it's a catch, it's a chase. People like a chase, and it's like, if they in a relationship, sometimes they don't even want the person, they just want the chase, and it's like, once they get him, it's like, okay, now you clinging a little too much.
Go sit down somewhere.
Yes, the era of the side chick.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to get out of that era.
Willingly being side chicks.
We need to get out of that era.
Side niggas.
Don't get me started, y'all.
Get started. We got time.
She said get started. Okay, so Queen, I'm gonna let you know right now. enjoy your relationship, and don't let this whole social media thing make you feel like you got to go up on your man for whatever. Now, like I said, if it's just heart eyes and emojis, then that's something I wouldn't indulge in, because you can't control what other people post. However, you know, like I said, when your man starts feeding into that, then you know, then you can have that conversation. But I don't really think that it's that big of a deal for you to I'm not dismissing your feelings, but I don't think that it's worth throwing your whole relationship over and, you know, getting into a whole fallout over.
And if you have an intuition that something else is going on, then like we said earlier, use your communication skills and get that out. Don't have something bubbling inside of you, and then once you see somebody post on Instagram, now you want to nag about Instagram because of an intuition that you have about something else. If you have an intuition that you think something is going on, speak to that, and don't wait for something like Instagram or something that pops up on Twitter or him looking at another female while you guys are out. Don't let that be the sparker of the conversation. Have that conversation when you feel it, so that if you do bring it up, as a result, if you bring it up Instagram, it's not like, oh, you're just saying that because of the Instagram. No, I'm saying this because I really do feel this way. And it doesn't have anything to do with anything else but the fact that I feel this way and I felt the need to address it. So if you do feel a way about it, speak about that. Don't look to Instagram to be like your scapegoat on how to like ignite the conversation.
Right. Yeah. What did we say we were going to talk about? I'm sorry.
Side chicks.
Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, I'm really passionate. So I heard about this show that was going to be, I don't even know if it's still going to air, but it's called Real Side Chicks of Charlotte, I think.
No,
did y'all hear about that?
I didn't.
Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Right, okay. I think that we need to, as women.
Black people?
Yeah, no, okay. Most of the cast is black, and there's one white girl.
They black.
Right, they black. And I got an issue with side chicks just in general, because especially when it comes to black women, I'm very, I get very, very passionate. I get very irritated about this situation, because when it comes to black women, statistically, we're at the bottom of every totem pole. And when it comes to marriage and when it comes to relationships, in terms of marriage. And when I was in school, we had studied about how black women, the statistics are very, very low for black women getting married. Between black women and Asian men, we're the most undesirable in the statistic.
We ain't undesirable.
That's what
we just don't get married.
That was the article that I read, though, that it was between Asian men and black women that
we're the most undesirable.
Yeah, that's what it said.
We are not the most.
You know, awkward I felt up in that class, girl.
No, we are. Girl, 25% of us get married. I don't think that means that we are undesirable.
Right, but that was the interpretation from the.
But that's what it goes to. Right, us using and going off of other people's studies of us and using their words. I don't think we're undesirable. Me at
neither. I'm hella desirable.
I don't think it's a fact of being undesirable. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna let you give your point first, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. I got something for it.
But going back to statistics, you know, with black women, I feel like we already have. I would say, I don't want to use the word struggle, but it's not a struggle as far as like us getting men, but the odds are not really in our favor when it comes to marriage and when it comes to something, for marriage to be something to aspire to.
Right.
And for you, when people find a good thing, like when you was talking about your boyfriend and how you love your boyfriend, that's something that's so beautiful. Why would I want to take that from another black woman? Why would I want to tear you down, or why would I want to come in and interfere and feel like I want to take your man? Like, why would I want to put you through something like that? It's just like, I don't understand that. And when we have a show full of black women that are proud to be side chicks, like what are we teaching our women? It's like we got to think of ourselves as more than that. Like, come on, queens, like we have to be better than that.
I'm gonna go ahead and speak to these we'll say kings. I'm gonna let them know. Now. First of all, the ones that are dating our black women, majority of them are, you know, these black men. So the ones that are cheating on these black women that are allowing these side chicks to come on are these black men. And my thing is, even when it comes to the statistics, we have to look at black men. Black men double and a half the rate of them marrying outside of their race is doubled ours.
Right.
So then that also takes away as to why, you know, we aren't getting married as often, because double the amount of our men are marrying outside of our race. So then that also plays a factor into it. But I think a lot of these men are not truthful. And like I said, I think last week or 2 weeks ago or last week, I spoke to that where I've been in a relationship where a guy had a girlfriend and the, girl was pregnant, and he didn't even mention that he had a girlfriend. He didn't even mention that the girl was pregnant until like after. And it's like, you willingly approached me and you willingly came for me knowing before you met me that your girl or whatever was pregnant. And it's like, we have to speak to that. Like, there's a lack of honesty. And I'm not saying, like, black women are completely not at fault. But we have to be able to speak to our men and go, like, yo, y'all aren't being completely honest in these situations. And you guys are grabbing, women and making them feel like, oh, I like you, I want to be with you. But then all of a sudden, when it's starting to get a little serious or you starting to feel something, oh, I got a girlfriend. And it's like, you approached me. I've been in that situation multiple times where it's just like, I've been approached and it's just like, okay, then I hear off the side, oh, he got a girl or he's married. And it's like, why did you come to me? Like, I didn't come to you. Why did you come to me? And I think there's a lack of honesty there where they do need to be honest or they need to like, stop. Like, don't do that. Don't come for somebody. And it's like, and in some cases, there are women who probably get attached before they know, or maybe they do know and they get attached. And at some point in time, it's just like, you like who you like. So then you stay in it. But it also plays a factor. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that there's no fault to the women, but I am saying that the men also play a part when they are, when they're approaching.
No, I agree with you though, because the commitment, the woman doesn't make a commitment though to you. Like it's your man that makes the commitment to you. But I'm talking about the ones who
a joint commitment.
Right, it's a joint. But I'm talking about the women who actually do know that the guy who approaches them, they have a girlfriend, but yet they still.
But I think that a lot of times maybe it does start where they don't know. I think that does because if you knew like from jump. I'm saying like from the first time you talked to me, if it was like, no, you were talking to me as if you had a girlfriend and it was just a friendship that you were trying to start. But a lot of times they come off as like, oh, my girl's not here, so let me like sneak this.
Oh, we ain't talking even that serious.
And then it's like, okay, before like then, oh yeah, let me slip in. I have a girlfriend after I've been flirting with you and you develop feelings for me. And I'm like, it's unfair.
Right.
But it goes both ways. There are those women who are actively searching out men that have that are in relationships, but I think, we got to speak to them like, sis, you got to chill. You have to chill. Like, don't be another reason why a black woman is hurting. Right. Don't be that.
Exactly.
Get yourself together. Go find you somebody.
We better than that.
Go find yourself. Don't even find another man. Find yourself because you're lost. You're lost.
Come on now. You don't have to do all that. Yeah. And like I said, like, I just think that we need to stop endorsing that. We need to stop showing it. I was watching, not on purpose. I was. What
you mean not on purpose?
I was flipping through the channels, and but this was a couple months ago. This was the Love and Hip Hop reunion.
I watched that on purpose.
I don't remember I don't know which one it was or what season it was. But somebody was openly sleeping with somebody else's husband, and then.
When are they not?
Right, and then like the lady, I don't even know who. I don't even know who she is. I just think she had like blonde hair, blonde wig. And then she was like, oh no, I don't care if I'm sleeping with your husband and I sleep with your husband and so what? I'm like, what is this? Why are we showing this on TV? Like, what message are we trying to convey?
And the person who's the creator of the show is a black woman.
Hello, don't even get, that's a whole nother show.
Mona Scott.
I promise you we'll have a whole show about Miss Mona
Scott.
I
have a seat
I don't know if she can sit at this table, because I don't know if she can sit at this table. But Miss Mona, I got an issue with Miss Mona Scott Young.
I need to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, and she needs to have a sit down.
I'm going to be walking down somewhere and I'm going to see you and I'm going to be like, come sit down.
I'm not here for her.
I need to sit down with you, your mom, and your grandma. So
everybody.
You
yes.
That's not okay.
Honestly, that is a whole show that we can touch on with Miss Mona.
I'm here. Secure the bag, but don't secure it while you are tearing us apart. Now, if you have that avenue and the reins that you have and the platform and the platform that you have, you can definitely shift it to something that is positive.
Right. Y'all don't even get me started.
Yeah, but we're gonna.
Mona, yeah. What were we gonna say? We gonna transition
We're going to go to break really quick.
We're going to go to a quick break.
Yes.
Right back with Miss Gates Presents.
I'm going to let y'all know.
Find out what she's presenting today.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to let y'all know about yourself.
Come on now. All right, y'all.
All right.
Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes offers custom cakes and cupcakes for every occasion. We proudly bake everything from scratch. With every moist and mouth-watering bite, you will be smacking your lips by the time you are finished. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lip Smacking Cupcakes.
Allow me to give you something to think about. Not everything that comes out of Compton is bad. I mean, we have Dr. Dre, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams, that little girl with the dream made an Aja Brown. P. Diddy couldn't have said it better. This is the fairy tale, man. And fairy tales do come true because we got millions of cats that are coming up with that hustling spirit and drive. They got that mention, that drive. Bill Lyons had that drive to overcome all obstacles. Bill Lyons isn't just a clothing line or just a brand. It's a movement. Bill Lyons is Compton. Compton is Bill Lyons. Respect the perspective. Bill Lyons.
No cake, can't say no ho. Don't give me no lip, bitch. Run me my dough. Don't rock no cake, can't say no ho. Bitch, run me my chips and get your ass out the door. Don't rock no cake, can't say no ho. Don't give me no lip, bitch. Run me my dough. Don't rock no cake, can't say no ho. Make it rain on that ass, she'll get it off the floor. I need it all. Brand new socks and drawers. I missed the bag of bad bitch and have her lick my balls. No stars. I ain't passing nothing but a test. I don't stress cause the hollow tips are eat through the vest. I'm on the west where we ride coupes with the top down. All you weird niggas getting marked out. Bitch, I'm 91 bound. Sliding on the interstate. Sucker ducking, making plays, steady dodging Jake's high now. And G5 got his own style. All the bitches think I'm flying now. Tell him bust his pipe down. Drop dick and make her go wild. Make her wanna have my first child. Bitch, you sound dumb now. Too deep, she need a tub now. Damn, baby girl, pipe down. Ass fat and hella round. Introduce you to this lifestyle. Fair warning, nigga, quite wild. Don't rock no cake, can't say no ho. Don't give me no lip, bitch. Run me my dough. Don't rock no cape, can't say no ho. Bitch, run me my chips and get your ass out the door. Don't rock no cape, can't say no ho. Don't give me no lip, bitch. Run me my dough. Don't rock no cape, can't say no ho. Make it rain on that ass, she'll get it off the floor.
Could get you poppin', little baby, there ain't no problem. If you coming with that money, little baby, then now we talking. All I want is blue strips, but no, I'm no crip. If I leave with your bitch, you know that I hit in the morning. Hot box smoking, Ralph Lauren sporting. Your bitch set me up while you in the bed snoring. I don't want the hoe cause the pussy too boring. Every day I smoke on gas like I'm flooring. Off to a bad, only thing that keep me up. Oh, I heard you PC'd up, couldn't hang with them gorillas. Smoke 5 left to that boy head, he'll split it, he'll spill it anyway. Talking about
Hey,
What is
y'all.
up? We are back.
We are back.
Yes.
Hey.
Anybody that is just now tuning in, you can see Lovely Leah is not in the studio with us. She had to secure the bag.
Secure the bag,
We
girl.
have Patricia.
Hello.
Shante here with us. Yes. It's time for me to give my segment.
Yes.
Gates present.
Gates present.
All right, so let me let y'all know.
What you
I'm
present,
tired of
girl?
y'all. I'm so tired of y'all. And people in our culture and our community. What are you guys doing? Just our perception of ourselves, and I think the way that we are grabbing a hold to things. I grabbed a hold to this statement maybe like a few months ago, and it's we need to stop pledging allegiance to things that hurt us, to things that don't benefit us, and to things that don't give back to us. And I think there was a prime example of that during this past week, that little boy Keaton, with the video that he shared, or his mother shared. We were so quick to hop onto that, and there were so many black people that were willing to stand behind him and to promote that. And trust me, y'all know I love kids. Kids are my passion. And I do feel for it. If he was bullied, I do feel for that. I do want to definitely let it be known that there is a place where we can advocate for bullying. However, money does not fix bullying. Conversations do. And talking to our kids and teaching them like that is not the way to be. Just because someone looks different, it doesn't mean you can come for them. But giving money and sending them tickets to games or red carpet events, that's not going to fix the fact that he is being bullied. Yes, he may meet LeBron James at this game, and he may, take him to go get food or whatever, but at the end of the day, when he goes back to school, those kids are still going to be whoever those kids are that bullied him. My thing was just, I don't understand. First of all, there was a GoFundMe. Within 2 days, they raised, the goal was $50,000. They raised over $50,000 in 2 days, with like 1,900 people in 2 days. Now we have a little black girl, Shanti Davis. She committed suicide as a result of her being bullied. There was a video that surfaced, her getting into a fight with somebody, and maybe I think like a week later the video surfaced, and her mother was saying that she knew that she felt a way about it, but she didn't know it was that serious. And then maybe a week after that, she ended up hanging herself. They rushed her to the hospital and they pronounced her dead. Her family has also started a GoFundMe. Within 8 to 10 days, the goal was $10,000. They've only raised $8,000 with 298 people, I think. And in the bio, the GoFundMe, the description, it says, it's for the funeral. So it's giving you something to give to. It's telling you what it's for. It was started by her parents. But then when we look at Keaton's, it wasn't even started by his parents. And then there were 2 started. So then I'm like, okay, so your son was bullied. You're telling us that you want this money. First of all, it's a person that doesn't even know the family. The over $50,000 went to a person that doesn't even know the family, but says, I think this is the only way that I can help Keaton's family. So I want to give them money to make his future better. And it's like, no, we were talking about earlier, self-love. That's an aspect that he needs to be taught. That even in the midst of adversity or in the midst of people speaking bad about you, love yourself throughout. I don't think money would have been a good thing to give to him. And now we see that the same athletes that were sitting up here saying, oh, I'm going to send him tickets, or when you're near, come, to the games. The same athletes, the mother bashed those athletes for kneeling, for representing themselves, for speaking out against people that have been, just dealt with injustices. And now she did a interview, I think earlier today or yesterday, and she was just like, oh, it was a joke, and I was just kidding. It was all for laughs, and I don't really think it's serious. But it's like, sweetheart, first of all, we as black people, and I love to just speak to us. I hate to speak to those that are on the outside. We as black people shouldn't have even gave her an opportunity to say that it was a joke. We should have said, oh, Keaton, I'm sorry that you went through that, but it is now up to your parents to now help you better combat being bullied. Or it is now up to the school to put in a better system so that bullying is not something that is going on. And I think it is a testament to the schools to say, like, are you really putting forth your best foot? Are you guys really in tune with these kids? Are you really seeing what's going on? Are you checking in with these kids and seeing, oh, okay, are they really going through something, or are these kids really being rude, or what are they really saying? You need to have an ear to the door at all times when it comes to these kids, and I don't think that's happening. However, I don't see in any way, shape, or form of us finding a solution to bullying. I just don't see money being there, and I feel like as Black people, or as just people in general, we should have thought about that and went, regardless of even if she was racist or she was not racist, what is me giving this $50 or this $10 or this $500? What is that going to do for this boy? Now, if you want to give, you can give to Ashanti Davis. Their family is still planning the funeral. She's a little Black girl from Colorado, and she was, I believe, in elementary. She went to Sunrise Elementary, and she, you know, she committed suicide, and it's a really sad thing. 10 minutes, 10,000. She was only 10. Yes, I'm sorry. My brain be all over the place. Yeah. So she was only 10, and it's like, you know, it's really sad. And, you know, actually, I feel like from the athletes, it would have been better to send her parents tickets to the games. Like, to get your mind off of this, come, you know, just have a good time and come here. But then we want to send, Black people, we love giving to white people. When we get something and we see a white person in need, we love giving to them. But it's not reversed. When white people see Black people in need, they don't necessarily hop on the bandwagon and give to us. But we feel like, oh, we have to give to people. When you don't, why are we going out trying to, like you said earlier, I think, why are we cleaning someone else's house before we clean our own? There's bullying going, I mean, I'm an educator. I see it all the time. There's bullying going on in our schools that are right around the corner from us, but no one highlights that. But because we're so simple-minded and we see a video, we see a physical image of someone crying, and we can look at it for a minute, we think, oh, he's going through so much more than the kids that are in our backyards. So all of us are donating to this white boy because, oh, they use good marketing skills. They put him on, and they got the right people to retweet. They got the news outlets to retweet. But I'm telling you today, if you want to, ISF Inglewood Middle School, there's Animo, all the Animo schools, like, go to them. And even I think a few weeks ago there was a photo going around saying, like, if you really want to give back, go and call your local school and pay off some of the past due lunches that, you know, some of the kids owe on and stuff. Like, there are schools out here. There are, I mean, Wilder's Prep, Gompers. There's so many schools that are out here that are just surrounding us that we really need to, you know, hone in on. And it's like, how dare you give to another before your house is intact? Like, I just don't understand that. And it really made me feel away. It really did.
And that really hurt my heart. Like, the whole story about the young girl, like, that, when I tell you, it brought tears to my eyes, like, because she's so, like, a 10-year-old. And I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all had have had our instances of being bullied, but to want to take your life, for you to be so young, like, why would that even go through your mind to hang yourself, for that to even be an option? So it was really sad. And with the whole situation with the young boy Keaton, I won't come for him because he's a little boy, but his family I'll come for it, because they wrong as hell for trying to profit and trying to cash in upon his little boy's tears. Even if he really is being bullied, him getting money is not going to stop. It's not going to help his self-esteem. It's not going to stop other kids from bullying him. If anything, it's probably going to make them bully him more. The fact that he's out there like that. They all need to be checked. Every last one of y'all. Like, this, it's
they
just,
shut down the.
I'm glad they did, because what are you getting money for? I don't understand why. I don't understand. If anything, that money should go towards implementing some kind of program that helps children come together and to learn that bullying is not right and it's not okay.
Like, physical action. And I want y'all to understand that in this conversation is in no way, shape, or form is it to Keaton, is it to his parents. It's not even to Ashanti Davis and their parents. It is to us. For us to be more mindful of what we're giving our money to. For us to be more mindful and understand that money doesn't fix problems. Actions do. Your actions on whatever is going on, it fixes it. And a lot of times we like to say, oh, you know, these celebrities out here, they need to stop putting these images out here, and they need to stop being half naked and stop talking about drugs. But it's like, what are you doing as an individual affecting, we probably have about 10 kids around us. 10 kids that are under the age of 18. I think everyone at least has access to that many kids. What are you doing to outstand these images that are on social media, to let these kids know that you are a positive light, because I promise you the relationship that you have with those kids outstands anything that they see on those phones. If you're able to have a conversation with them and sit down and talk to them and show them love on a real level, you outstand anything that they see on any television. So it's like, I just hate when people do that. I hate when people are like, oh, well, they shouldn't be doing this. No, like, what are you doing to show these kids how to be? Like, how to be positive? That, okay, we see Nicki Minaj is out here just fronting her whole body, but what are you doing to show this little girl that you can be covered up and be as fun and be as lit as you want to be and be as intelligent and as beautiful as you want to be, covered up and doing what you need to do? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing to actually do this? So I think with bullying, we need to have conversations. Keep your money in your pocket. We talk about, oh, we broke, I don't want to get to this. But y'all was quick to give $50K to Keaton. Like, put your money up and please use your legs, use your mouth, use your words, use your hands, and go out there and be an example. Like, use the God-given talent that you have and be an example to these kids. Mm-hmm. They need that more than they need money. And I promise you, I see kids every single day. Like, I'm around kids and I'm just like, me just being here, me just being here and being a positive image. Just all the teachers that we have, like us just being here, it does so much for them. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, to you guys that are looking, a lot of people ask me, how can I help? Be a positive image to those that are around you, to the kids that you see on a daily basis. Like, be a positive image to them, and I promise you, you'll start to see a change. You'll really start to see a change in the lives of these kids. It's a beautiful thing to have kids that are attached to you and that are trying to do good so that they can run back and tell you that they did something well. Right. That is one of the most beautiful things that I think I've been able to experience this year, is just seeing kids that I know went through a lot and that were bad. Just seeing them like in a positive light and letting me know about it. But are we going on a break? We're going on a break. No, we're going to Mo Knows Best. That's me. Yes. Okay, so Mo Knows Best.
Really quick, I just wanted to talk today about a new concept that I'm learning. Earlier this week, last week I was talking to my friend. Shout out to Janae. She's from,
Hey, Janae.
Yeah, hey girl. Hey girl, be watching. She's out here visiting. She's actually from out here, but she goes to school at Clark, Atlanta. So she's on break right now. So shout out to her. Yeah, your friend goes to Clark as well. Shout out to Kiva. Yeah. So all the Clark people, I'm here for this. But I was having a conversation with her last week, and I was talking to her, like, about little, like, nuances, things that annoy me and whatnot. And she was telling me that about this concept that she learned. And she said that whenever we are dealing with people and whenever we feel like people are doing things to annoy us, whenever people do things that we don't necessarily agree with, we have to change our mentality. And part of our changing our mentality is to assume that people are doing their best. And when she shared this concept with me, I was like, I feel like it was something that was really deep, and it was something that was profound, because a lot of the times we only see things from our perspective, and we only see things how we want to see them. And when we look at people and we assume that they're doing their best, now granted, I ain't talking about people like just out here just being stupid, but I mean more so like when you're talking about like your friends and like your family, your coworkers, like to where if somebody does something to maybe offend you or to annoy you, instead of being so letting it anger you to a point where you feel like, oh no, because they're doing this because of this, and they're just being who they are. Like, when we change the way that we look at them and say, you know what, maybe they're just doing the best with what they have. Maybe they're just doing the best that they can do within their capacity. For example, like my parents, did I like everything that they did when I was growing up and everything they said to me when I was growing up? No. But at the same time, I can assume that they were doing the best with what they had, and they were doing the best they could do within their capacity. Even all the time, like with the people who I'm friends with, or even like my coworkers, do we always like see eye to eye? Do we not get on each other's nerves? Like, we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but it's like, I don't take it personally. It's like, I could just assume that you're doing the best with what you have. So it's like, I feel like when we start to get to that point where we look at things from a different perspective, and where everything is not always about us, when we look at people with compassion and we don't have harsh assumptions about people, I feel like it brings a peace over us, in that we're able to deal with situations better, rather than looking at it and taking everything so personally and saying, you know what, maybe they are just doing the best of what they have. Like, you don't know what it takes for somebody to get up in the morning. You don't know what it takes for them to get from point A to point B. Even your coworkers, even if you may not like them and you may not like the way they talk to you, you may not like the way they do things, but you don't know what it took for them to have to get up in the morning, to have to come to work. You don't know what they're going through. So when I change my mentality, and when I change how I look at situations, just assume, like, you know what, maybe they're just doing their best. I'm just going to assume that they're doing the best of what they have under their circumstances. They're doing the best. Now, granted, I'm not saying that doesn't excuse people's behavior. That doesn't invalidate your feelings. But at the same time, when we take that selfishness out of the situation, it allows us to have a peace over ourselves, to where I don't have to look at you any kind of way and feel like I can't speak to you, or feel like, you know, you're just a mean person. Like, no, I'm gonna just leave you alone. I'm gonna just say, you know what, I'm gonna let you do you for now. But I think that it's really important, and it's something I've really been practicing for the past week, is to really assume that people are doing their best with what they have and what they've been given. How you guys feel?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I agree, and then also, like how we were saying earlier, just that when it comes to like relationships and like your parents and stuff, and just anything that can be similar to that, I would say like right. But then also, like, I'm just coming from like a athletic, perspective, like. Even now, coaching, like, some of my girls, they'll be like, oh, we tried, we gave our best, but it's like, sweetheart, you lost. Like, It wasn't enough. And you could have won, but you lost. So it's like, okay, you did your best, or you did what we're going to quote is your best, but, like, when do you get better? And I think even it goes to, like, the perfectionist thing that I say, like, even when people say that, it's like, you're never going to, like, reach that. That perfectionist thing. So it's like you have to just kind of not do away with it, but get to a point where you're like reaching little goals, like at a time, where it's like, okay, I'm doing this, I did this better, okay, I did this better, but you never really reach it, because even like when we talk about Oprah, we would think someone like Oprah, we're at a point where it's like she can stop reaching her goals, but she keeps going. And someone could have said when she started, a long time ago, like, oh, you're doing your best, it's okay, honey, like, you're doing your best, but she was like, no, I'm about to blow the walls off, So I think, like, in a lot of cases, yeah, it does, but to anybody that's like, oh, don't be complacent, and don't get complacent and just say like, okay, I'm doing my best and that's it, because like I said, Oprah could have did that, and then if Oprah would have been like, yo, this is my best, we wouldn't see Oprah Winfrey for what she is now. And it's, just little steps. Like, she did her show, for however many years she did that. Now she has her own network. Now she's doing, like, Super Soul Sundays and all of that. And she's building an empire. And it's like, she's not stopping. So if she can't stop, then we definitely have little increments that we need to get to. So it's a little, rocky with me when I hear that. It's just like, okay, but I don't even want to tell myself, like, you're doing your best. Like, when I wake up, it's constant, like, oh, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And I have to stop sometimes and go, like, people, they'll be like, Jazz, like, look what you did this year. And I'm like, no, like, it's not enough. Like, I'm underwhelmed by what I've done. But to people, it just looks like it is what it is. But it's like, I have to definitely get to a point where I appreciate the progress, but don't appreciate it so much that I'm willing to sit back and just admire it. I don't think anything that I've done is worthy of just me sitting back and not working even more. And
you're constantly on the move.
Yeah, so it's a definite, like, you have to.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah, and when I say doing your best, that's more so like, as far as like you're in your relationships with other people. I mean, constantly you shouldn't be at a standstill with others. Yeah. So no, I totally get you. You should honestly be striving to be the best version of yourself, and continuously striving to be better, and to moving into the next area, into the next phase of your life. But with that being said, speaking of moving to the next phase, we're gonna have to close out the show.
Are we done?
Yeah, it's like it's 9:30.
Oh,
but
to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Trisha Chavez.
Yes.
We appreciate you for coming in and for sitting with us.
Why are you looking at me like
Oh, no,
that?
it's like, I was about to say something. That's why I was like.
No, I said, what time are we ending?
Oh, it's already 9:30. Yeah.
Dre, how much time do we have left?
She said, Dre, how much time we have left? She said.
Are we done?
So yeah, y'all, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna have a quick poem by Miss Trisha Chavez, but really quick before we transition out. Thank y'all so much for watching QTT. We had our first guest, Miss Trisha, and then also you guys can follow us on Instagram at Queen's Table Talk. Like us on Facebook. You guys write us for Dear Queen. We'll answer your questions live here up on the radio. This Saturday, we have Winter Wonderland here in the city of Compton from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have Saturday Night Live at
lit.
Fridays. It's so lit. It was lit last time.
It's ugly Christmas sweater.
Ugly Christmas sweater. Yes. Come to Fridays
lit.
in Compton and wear your ugly Christmas sweater.
Yes.
We will be there. First 25
Take
people.
a picture with the queens.
Yeah, with the queens. Yes, we'll be there with our ugly Christmas sweaters. First 25 people, they do get free appetizers. So that is from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then on Sunday, we'll be teaming up, of course, with the Hub Radio and Scumbag Society. We will be on Skid Row feeding the homeless from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. So by all means, if you guys have any donations, please bring them here to the Hub Radio at 1135 East Compton Boulevard and hit us up. DM us. Yes. But we are going to close out with a poem from the beautiful Miss Trisha Chavez.
Okay, so I need y'all help. When I say what's up, black woman, I want you to say what's up, black queen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I love participation.
What's up, black woman?
What's up, black queen?
We got a whole lot of work to do, if you know what I mean. What happened to our chastity? And where did our royalty go? Seems like the norm now is for us to be sexual objects with Instagram model goals, stay posting our location physically, but mentally we have nowhere to go. Back in the day when we were enslaved, we had fear instilled in us. We were bed warmers and his winches. Now we mentally enslaving ourselves for foreign whips, trips, bundles, and inches. So what's up, black woman?
What's up, black queen?
We got to change the way we think, if you know what I mean. This perspective of being inferior has become internally digested. It's time we swallow some truth so we can regurgitate these lies. This system has failed us, no matter if it was taught, quizzed, or tested. We used to be worried about Jim Crow, segregation, and being mentally and physically beat. Now we just worried about this makeup so our face can be beat, being looked at as lunch meat, being a bad bitch instead of a queen and this help me. You know, we worried about this sativa and indica. You know, we hyped off this kush, but we'll have a confused and puzzled look when asked about the ancient Kushites and Kush. We don't know our heritage, where we come from, or who we truly are. The standard will always be lower than potential when we don't know that royalty is the bar. So what's up, black woman?
What's up, black queen?
We got a whole lot of work to do, if you know what I mean. Thank you.
Hey,
beautiful, yes.
Chavez.
Oh my goodness.
With the queens in the building. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. We're going to close out upon that note. Thank you so much for coming and gracing us with that beautiful poem.
You're welcome.
Yes, black women, black queens. We will see y'all next week. Close us out, your sound effect.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes. On that note, we will see y'all next Tuesday, y'all.
Yes, but make sure we see y'all on Saturday.
On Saturday,
sure y'all
come
hit
through.
Us on Sunday.
Yes.
It's a busy week. It's a busy weekend.
Yes.
Got us out here working. So.
We are out here working, making moves.
But it's all love.
Hello.
All love. But yeah, so catch us next week, 7:30 every Tuesday at the Hub Radio. Have an amazing week, and do not forget to
discover,
unlock, and protect your magic.
Have a good one.